today we are going to be making faces. No, not that type of making faces. We're going to be making masks or puppet faces. So start off with, I've got a piece of cardboard. If you have paper plates, they're fantastic. I'm going to draw around something. Now, of course, you need to get permission before you use anything. So just make sure you have the right permission. So if you're going to use the cardboard, make sure you've got permission to use that. A little tip, I'm going to be drawing around this on the printed side because I want to keep that side nice and clean. So there's the shape. Now I've cut off the sides that we don't want. I'm just going to turn that over. There we go, there I've got my head shape with a rather large chin. That's okay. Let's see what eyes are going to work. Got some googly eyes. Oh. They're way too small. Still a bit too small. They're getting bigger. How about some bottle tops? Oh yes, that's looking better. I could put the eyes on the bottle tops, the buttons. Ah, I like that. Then I can stick them down with glue, or if you have some double-sided sticky tape. There we go. I stuck the double-sided tape onto the buttons and then that onto the bottle tops. Now I haven't put these right in the middle, I put them to the off side so it looks as if the person's looking to the one side, to the bottom, or to the other side. Or maybe they're trying to think of something. So I've used straws and I stuck them on again with sticky tape, but you might have something different to use to stick them on, and I quite like that. Don't have to use straws. You might prefer to use cotton wool or something else for the hair. Now for the nose. Noses are really difficult and you just need to watch a few different cartoons to see how they draw their noses, and they all have different ways of doing it. So let's go. I'm going to go for a nice big nose. So we've got, that's going to look like, and I'm going to have a little nostril there, and I'm going to have a nostril there. Now for his moving mouth, we could use an elastic band, and I've poked it through on two sides carefully. It's being held in place by a cocktail stick, and I've taped the cocktail stick so there's no sharp edges, and I've got a little bit of elastic. I'm thinking elastic's not the best to use, but hello, how are you today? Oh, oh, oh. It sort of works, you get the idea. For today I have stuck 2 pieces of card onto a lollipop stick. So look, oh, a sad mouth and a happy mouth, and I'm not quite sure mouth, whichever way up, I'm just not quite sure. There we go, happy face. Oh, a sad face, and not quite sure how I'm feeling. Mary and Martha were friends of Jesus, and they lived near Jerusalem. They had a brother got Lazarus, and Lazarus was quite poorly. And it got worse and worse. And they sent a message to Jesus, come and help us. Help Lazarus get better. And they waited and they waited, and Jesus didn't come. And then Lazarus died, and they were very sad. They buried Lazarus in a tomb. Jesus did get the message, but he didn't come. And his friends, the disciples, thought, phew, we don't want to go near Jerusalem. There's people there after us. And then Jesus said, we will go to Mary and Martha. And so they travelled to Bethany, where they lived. And Mary and Martha went and they met Jesus and they said, oh, Jesus, if you had been here, you could have made Lazarus well. Take me to where you have put him, Jesus said. And so they took him to the cave where they put Lazarus. And Jesus said, roll away the stone. They weren't quite sure what to make of that. He'd been dead for several days. It would have been a bit smelly in there. But they did as he said. And Jesus prayed a prayer. And then he shouted in a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. And he did. And everyone gave a big cheer. They were so happy to see Lazarus again. But some of the people there are from Jerusalem, and they weren't so happy at what Jesus was doing. And so they went back to Jerusalem to make a plot of how to get rid of Jesus. Mary and Martha couldn't understand why Jesus didn't come when they first asked them. They didn't realize that he had a special plan for Lazarus. The story reminds me that whenever we are happy or when we are sad, and even when we're feeling a bit confused, God is always with us. So let us pray. For when we are happy, for when we are sad, and for when we are confused, remind us, Lord, that you're always with us. Amen. If you want to make a face yourself, do send a picture to me. I'd love to see it. And maybe you'd make it out of card. Maybe you're going to make it out of a paper plate. I'm just looking. Or maybe you want to make it out of something completely different. Whatever faces you want to make, I'd love to see them. So please do send them in. Bye-bye.